Vivian by Missy Gordon. The night falls. My dreams repeat the message of a life passed on. And soon after, the morning rises. Did I pass? Life is not a test. The sky told me that. But I was sure it was. Then what is it? To my surprise, the sky replied, "What do you want it to be?" I thought about the line from Pretty Woman when Richard Gere asks Julia Roberts for her name. Vivian. My name is Vivian. Am I only here for the night? Forgotten in the morning, curls tucked under my wig, nameless, faceless, like an empty soul wandering the primordial plane? Truthfully, I asked. No. The wind responded curtly, but I didn't believe him. He asks me for my name. What do you want it to be? I laughed. No, he said. What do you want it to be? What's your name? What do you want it to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? Because it's up to you. Even if you have been defined, you can change the definition. You have the power. You're the creator of your own reality. Reality isn't fixed. It's fluid. Same with time. I always like the parable or allegory, analogy, whatever term you want to use for the elephant. Everyone has their hand on the elephant, and they're looking at the elephant from all different sides, all different angles, all different perspectives. And yet they all have their hands on the same elephant. That's how I see religion, or points of view, or realities, because we are each our own world. Whether we want to admit it or not, we are seeing the world through our eyes and our perspective. So really, it's all relative. Nobody's right and nobody's wrong. What's your name? What do you want it to be? It could be Vivian. It could be Picasso. You can be a musician, a painter, a writer, a mother, a father, a teacher. Hell, you can even be a pet. You can literally do whatever you want and be whatever you want. And this is my opinion. I think that the reality of that scares us much more than being in a box. Coming from my only perception ever being Christianity from the time I was in the womb until 2021, I have been terrified since my faith deconstructed. I never admitted it to myself at the time, but I actually liked having rules. I liked being in a box. I liked feeling constricted because that means I knew the answer. There's a sick comfort in that. And I've listened to a lot of different people talk about their deconstruction journeys, and I find that across the board, one of the main things that I see again and again throughout is that people are afraid that there's so many possibilities. And you would think that freedom would be exciting, exhilarating. But a lot of the time, it's actually much more scary. What is your name? What do you want it to be? Since there are eternal options, this can make us feel more afraid. That's why all of these business, self-development books that I've read throughout the years tell us to make a list. Making a list, checking it twice, seeing what our strengths and weaknesses are, right? There's nothing wrong with that, and I would suggest doing that. I've done so many of those exercises and they have helped me, but this is what I will say is that at the end of the day, we already know because we are us. I find that what religion does, programming in society, school, upbringings, perceptions, institutions, like what these things do is they put us in a box. So really, it's going against the grain of what our natural lean would have been if we just got to bloom naturally like a flower does in nature, for example. Instead, we were forced into these weird contortions. We need to unfold. Have you ever tried origami? Years ago, I used to take care of a boy, Dominic. He would do these intricate origami figures, and it would take literally 100 different folds to achieve the structure. That's how I see these boxes. They're more than boxes. We use the phrase, oh, think outside the box. We're in a box. We use these phrases. Really, I see it as more than a box. I see it as something that actually needs to be consciously unfolded, like origami. Many of the folds, when you are doing intricate origami, you fold, 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 and then you unfold so that those lines are there. Kind of like the neural pathways in the mind that have been folded over again and again and again and again with beliefs and systems that were not our natural lean. When you fold these things again and again and again, and then you unfold, those divots are there as markers so that you can then put more folds into the folds that were already there. So this stuff gets so complex. There's a lot of unlearning to do. That's way harder than learning something, is to unlearn, to unfold from those contortions. You can reinvent yourself at any time. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. Doesn't matter if you've been in the closet for 30 years. I've known multiple people who have come out way later in life and they're way happier. Just as one of many examples. I've known people who have done one career and they've been known for that career and they have completely gone in a different direction. And even in the more, challenging examples, like getting a divorce. If it's not right, it's not right. Well, we have kids. I should wait for them to graduate school. I've heard from multiple kids with parents who did that, and they wished their parents had just gotten divorced. Instead of having to live with that weird undercurrent of tension and energy in their household. And I've never been married, so what do I know? I'm just saying, it's my point is, who are you? And it's not like an existential question, but it is. It's just what you naturally think and feel. But the only reason why it gets challenging and weird and messy and confusing is because of those contortions and folds and programming. When we unfold all of that stuff, it gets us back to that neutral space where we can actually begin to feel our emotions again. It's like many of us are numb. Many of us are moving against our desires, and we wonder why we're so freaking unhappy. We wonder why we're all fucked up. Why am I fucked up? Because you're literally moving against every single thing in your body that wants to go the other way. Well, I can't because of this responsibility. I can't because of that. I can't. You know what would be better? Is for you to just drop all of that shit. Well, I have kids and I have, and like I said, I've never been married. I don't have kids. So I'm speaking philosophically right now. I know it's probably a different story for those of you who are in that position. But what I'm saying, it's a concept. I can understand that in different ways, even though I am not in your shoes. It would be better to do the wrong thing, quote unquote, in this scenario, because you're just going to end up hurting everybody around you more, including yourself. It would be better to just be freaking honest. And I'm not saying like, oh, go out and destroy things or do illegal things. Like, come on. Do I really have to say that? Do I really have to disclaim that? Come on. I'm talking about something normal, or maybe it's not normal. Like maybe you want to quit your cushy IT career and go do something completely different. I knew a guy, I was in a stocks class for like 2 years, and he had a very cushy IT career. Like his family thought he was freaking crazy when he left. And he went full time into the stock market, and he does options trading, and he makes way more money now than he used to. And now he's doing all these classes with Sandy Krakowski, and he's on a team with somebody who is a multi-millionaire who's very influential around the country. So my point was saying that is you might have to do a couple things that people disagree with, that people think you're crazy. And even if you do bomb out and fail, even if you do quit your job and you want to start a t-shirt company and it doesn't work, it's like, oh well, dude. At least you freaking tried, instead of sitting at your desk with fucking drool running down your face for the next 50 years thinking about what you want to do. Right? Good morning. I am doing an unboxing of my new mug. She's beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. Yeah, this is me at 7 a.m. Welcome. Actually, I'm not a morning person at all. So I don't know. I feel like that's something people say when they're like a morning person. They're like, look at me. It's 7 in the morning. And I'm like crazy. I don't know why I'm like this morning. I must just be excited. I don't know. I love her. You can purchase this through my Etsy shop. If you want to get one of your own singing mugs, because if you order this, you will be singing by Thursday. That's my sales pitch. Question your existence on Monday. By Thursday, you'll be singing. All right? It's that simple.